it's one of those where when you look at, when other people think of just studying sport, they think of it as just, oh, how can we teach this person to run a bit quicker? And it's like, okay, well, if you break it down a bit more, rehab, you need to make sure that they're fully prepped body-wise. Nutrition, they need to be fueled properly. Psychological-wise, they need to be in the right mindset. Physiological-wise, the actual like explosive power and like performance and all that kind of thing. I would say go to an open day and watch everything happen. My parents had the exact same thought. And I think by the second or third open day, they realised what the actual discipline was. And then they realised that PE teaching's a very, very, very small part of it. So in terms of like advice for parents, I would say go and actively look at labs, look at some teaching material, look at what your kid would be involved in, and you'll soon realise that it's far more than just teaching a bunch of year sevens how to kick a football around.
I think it's important for parents to understand, and I can see it from both sides, parent and delivering the content, is that it's not just sport, it's all of our programmes within the school are Bachelor of Science, so it's the science of the exercise, of the sport, of the rehabilitation that we're furnishing the students with. So it's not just sport, it's science. They're hard. Like, I think if anybody thinks they're coming to do sport because it's easy, they're wrong. And I don't know if you guys can back that up.
Yeah, anytime I go home and discuss with my friends sort of what we've been learning about recently, no one ever realises quite the extent of, the science behind sport.
Yeah, there's a huge content.
Yeah, because it's like, I remember quite distinctly in first year, we went into the labs. Whilst I was in first year, it was during COVID, so there wasn't a whole load of on-campus learning, but my cohort, we got to go in and take bloods and do blood pressure work well before the medicine students did. And I remember rubbing it in their faces good and proper, because I feel like there's that sort of kind of unsaid assumption that it's not a particularly hard discipline, but actually that's clearly just coming from the people that have no idea.
I think it's one of those where when you look at, when other people think of just studying sport, they think of it as just, oh, how can we teach this person to run a bit quicker? And it's like, okay, well, if you break it down a bit more, rehab, you need to make sure that they're fully prepped body-wise. Nutrition, they need to be fueled properly. Psychological-wise, they need to be in the right mindset. Physiological-wise, the actual like explosive power and like performance and all that kind of thing. Then you go into like the biomechanics side of things, and it's like your starting gait, your stride length, and you then, once you go down and sort of look at each individual discipline, you then realise how much can actually affect one single, quite simple mechanic.
Yeah.
It's that kind of element that I don't think people fully understand.
And if you think how hard it is to encourage people to exercise in the general population on the health side and sustain that, someone asked the question, how hard is it to tell someone to exercise? And the answer is, well, it's not rocket science. It's much more complicated than that, actually. And it really is. That shows how complex a simple question like that is. And then that's within our discipline as well.
We can help students become PE teachers if rule that out. I just rule that out as a right. That's very.
Just do become PE teachers.
Yeah, we've loads of our students have gone on to become PE teachers, and it's like I think it's one of the things that we try to facilitate. We facilitate those opportunities, so it's definitely. But it's obviously not the be all and all. It's not the only thing they do.
PE teachers are actually really smart as well.
Absolutely, yeah, and we do like
a lot.
Yeah, we've loads of students gone down that route. But yeah, I think we get a lot of students who enter with that in mind, and then they realise that they may wish to go down a different path. So, but yeah, just not to rule that out as an option.